Well, Shmai everyone, I'm back again with another layout using my June rainbow kit. Excuse me, I'm a bit croaky today. Now it's getting more difficult because I haven't got any full 12 by 12 sheets. I'm working with, at the most I've got, I think is 6 by 12, which is the dark one you can see on the side there, which I don't actually even use on this layout. So I prepared my page already using some texture paste and a Vicky Boutin stencil, and I've just added some Flamingo Kitsch Distress Oxide, couldn't think it was called then, just to go with the pinks. That's the one that's on my desk at the moment, so that's probably why I'm using it such a lot. So as you can see, I am working with rather small pieces now, which does make creating slightly more difficult. So I'm going to use this rainbow piece here. I just wanted the pinks from it. I've gone down very much a pink, white, slightly coral sort of road with this one. So I've cut the circle in half that I had, and I'm just using scrap pieces of paper now to mat this photo of Izzy after a bath wrapped in a grey blanket. I think I've woken her up from her snooze. She's a good little snoozer. And as you can see, the pieces I'm using are really small, but you know, sometimes it does make you think a bit harder, and it makes you think, right, let's just, I don't want much left of this at all, because whatever's left is going in the bin, so I don't want to waste anything. Usually if I've got slightly bigger pieces, I tend to take them to school for the craft area, because my children that I teach are between 3 and 5, and they go through paper like fun in class when they're in their creation zone. So I'm using this Vicky Boutin, I think it's Storyteller, and as you can see I really quickly cut that out, and it's a 6 by 8 piece, and I just wanted that little floral cluster. It doesn't stay there because it was a bit sort of too close to the photo. But then I wanted to use the rest of the paper then to add another layer behind this photo of Izzy. I'm glad that I got some of my 6 by 8 and 6 by 6 paper pads out, because I've used quite a few of those smaller pieces up. I've got a few more now. I've got another idea for probably the last layout using this kit, because as I say, I am running low on papers. I've still got a lot of my ephemera pack. The Page Evans ephemera pack, but that's no problem. That'll go back into my stash. I find some of the ephemera, because it's so big, quite difficult to sort of use. So I'm now going to start sticking things down before I forget where they are. And to be honest, it does go down slightly different than it did originally. I really should start taking a photo of things to remind me of where they are. So I'm using my T-square ruler there just to help me keep it fairly straight. Because they're straight edges, I do like them then to be fairly straight as well. So as you can see, I've gone off the edge on with the one piece paper, and I'll just trim that off at the end then. I love pink and mint together, or it's like a very, very pale teal. So I'm still wondering whether with this half circle, well, it's probably more than half the circle, whether to go top or bottom. I've added double-sided tape, but I've also added a bit of glue because of the fact that I have got texture paste behind it. Looks a bit like a rising sun there, I think. And then, as you can see, I'm thinking, did I have it this way? So I'm going to keep bringing it in just to check. But it's amazing what you can do just with scraps. Just with smaller pieces of paper, you haven't always got to cut into your 12 by 12 pieces. And sometimes it's really nice when you make up your own page kit to use scraps from your scrap box. I'm not very good organising my paper scraps, I must be honest. Some people are incredibly good at it. I do try to cut them into rectangular pieces or square pieces rather than have them all looking ragged with bits cut out of them. But I don't always remember to look through them. Now my cardstock, because I do the same when I make cards as well, I keep all my little offcuts. I tend to go through those regularly. I get the box out on my desk, and then whatever card I make, and I think, right, can I use some card from my scraps? Because there's no point keeping it if we're not going to use it. And what I tend to find is that my scraps pile gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I get frustrated, and I tend to then end up either donating it or taking it into school. But when I make these these page kits up, I'm so sorry, I'm so tired today. When I make the page kits up, it does get me rooting through them, and I find some little hidden gems. So I'm just going to add that little floral cluster down at the bottom of the page. I think it looks much better there than on the edge of the photo, because when I also add a smaller one at the top of the page, which then gives me a bit more of a visual triangle. So I'm just using some funky foam there. I'm determined to use this little pink flower, and half of it at least is going on this layout. So there's no point putting the whole one on because you won't see it all. So I'm just going to add that to my photo cluster. And as I say, it's a very pink girly page, this one. Izzy isn't a pink girly sort of dog at all. She's very much more in the mud, rolling in manure and all that kind of disgusting stuff. So I'm still looking through my embellishments to see if there's anything I can use. Sadly, I didn't use very many. I'll never get these embellishments used the way I'm going. I haven't been able to use my DIY embellishments because they've been the wrong colours for the page I've done. Excuse me. So I've got this dream word off from the chipboard pack. I thought the colours went really nicely, and just this little random jug of flowers there. And I've cut some of these rainbows, oh my goodness, these butterflies out of the butterfly sheet, but I was trying to keep to the pink theme. So in a second I'm going to cut some more out, but I've sort of trimmed that out to the video because you don't need to see me fussy cutting. I was trying to put this, I love that little typewriter, and I've tried to use it on all my layouts and haven't managed to yet, so I need to try to do it in the last one because otherwise it might be too late. So I'm still looking through to see if there's anything at all I can use. I do like having a little rummage. But the good thing is when you make up these kits, that everything is on your desk then, so you're not then thinking, all right, okay, let's see if there's anything else I can find, and then rooting through boxes of embellishments or finding where you keep all your ephemera. I store my ephemera in, I think they're supposed to be photo boxes from Hobbycraft. There's one big case with, I think there's 12 colourful boxes in there. I put all my ephemera in there. I tend to sort by colour, then by type. So I've got my wood veneer together, my metal and my bling together. Here I am again, trying to think of something to use from this ephemera pack. They are just such big pieces. And I think I end up with one little tiny ladybird, and that's all. I was thinking about this flower, but it didn't go with the flowers that I had in the corner, so I didn't want to use it. But I do find that ephemera is really, really big lately, and I find the bigger it is, the harder it is to use. But they'll get used at some point. So I'm going to use some of these rub-ons, and I tend to use an embossing stylus because I don't always have much success with the lolly sticks they include. So I'm going to use an embossing stylus. I mess up a little bit because I'm pressing so hard on the hard by the side of it. That also starts to come out, which I didn't mean it to. So now I've got to go in and repair my mistake. And I keep thinking, right, are there any more I can use on there? Just to use them up, because rub-ons I don't find have a very long shelf life when they're left in your stash. They don't always rub on very well. And look at that, last little word sticker. So I've got Dream 365. So I'm still trying to use some more rub-ons, but they were a bit too colourful for the page I was doing. So they will go to another page. My desk is absolute carnage by the time I have finished because I have everything out in front of me, and then I keep sorting through looking for something. Oh, just when I need some water. Obviously I haven't brought any upstairs with me, so I'm going to put this little ladybird on, and I am pretty much coming to the end of my layout. My title is Dream then 365, and I can just trim this a little bit off so it'll actually fit in a page protector. Afterwards I do include a little bit of journaling on the spotty card above the photo. That was me. I quickly cut out some extra butterflies, but I I edited that out. I'm just adding some speckled egg now, and that is pretty much it. So hopefully now I will be bringing you my last layout of my kit. Thank you for joining me. Take care everyone, and I'll see you soon. Hwyl fawr!